Hi everyone, I'm Meredith and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm so excited that you found me, and if you're returning, I'm so grateful you've decided to come back and watch more. I love all things luxury. I love luxury shoes, I love luxury handbags, luxury lifestyle and vlogging, and if they're things that appeal to you, I hope you'll do me a massive favor and hit that subscribe button down below. Hitting that subscribe button costs you absolutely nothing and means so much to me, so I hope you'll help me out. Today we're doing a get ready with me chatty video. I'll just chat about whatever while I get ready. A few of you, and isn't this a YouTuber thing? A few of you have asked, but seriously, I think like 2 of you have asked me to do a get ready with me and show you how I do my makeup for filming. So we're going to do that today. Goodness only knows how long this video is going to be. Sometimes my makeup, I can get it done in 20 minutes. Sometimes it takes me like an hour. It really depends on how much I get distracted or I spend looking at the different colors I've got. And to be perfectly honest, I haven't laid everything out in front of me. So I'm literally going to be picking things as I go, and I have an awful lot of makeup. For those that are interested, I do all my makeup content over on TikTok, and that's always linked in my description box down below. All right, I've gotten out of the shower. I have put toner on and eye cream, and that is it. That's as far as I've gotten. I've got my hair tied up, and I'm going to put my headband on, my little otter headband, just to keep my hair out of my makeup as we go. Oh, it's a good look. And this is what my skin looks like naturally. It's not perfect. It's nowhere near perfect. At the moment, I've got a little bit of eczema happening here, a little bit of eczema happening under here. I've got some redness happening, but that's mainly because I've just gotten out of the shower. If I gave it an hour, most of that redness would actually subside really well. I do have yellowy circles under my eyes. I am 43. I am not perfect by any stretch of the imagination, but for the most part, my skin is not too bad. There's not a lot of actual texture in it. I know it doesn't look that way, but it's actually pretty good, I gotta say. All right, so first thing I'm going to put on is the Glow Recipe Plum Plump Hyaluronic Serum. I love Glow Recipe. It's one of my favorite brands. Them and Dr. Janice Gross, my current faves. And Dior. I've got to say I've got some great Dior skincare as well. So I'll just put that all over my face. I'm looking terrible at the moment. It has been a rough start to the year for me, I've got to say. I have had massive staffing issues at work, which is not uncommon in Australia. There's a staff shortage in general in lots of industries. And then I'm going to go in with the Niacinamide Dew Drops, same brand, Glow Recipe, the watermelon ones. So yeah, it's not uncommon in Australia at the moment to have staffing issues. I was down, I think, 7 staff at one point. And it's just, you have conversations with people about what they're looking for, and it's just not possible. Like, yeah, it's hard to explain. So like they want more flexibility, and that's fine, but you can only offer so much flexibility if you're in a front-facing industry, if that makes sense. If you've got to actually show up and see the clients, then it's very hard to offer a complete work-from-home environment. Anyway, so that's been my challenge this year. I am finally getting to the point where I have staff. I have had 2 start this week. I've got another one starting this week. And then I've got an interview for one final position who I hope will work out next week. And then I should be fully staffed. I'm trying desperately to get fully staffed before I go to New York in August, because once I go to New York, it's very hard if I've got to continue to work while I'm in New York. I have traveled and worked several times because I've had no choice, but it would be nice to have a break this time. All right, and then my moisturizer is going to be the Glow Recipe Plum Plump Hyaluronic Cream. So I've kept it all in the same family because I find that that works really well. If you like a line of skincare, then if you use all that line, then it really does work well on your skin because they're made to go together. All right, so let's pop some of this on. This gives you a really like glass-like finish almost. You'll be very glowy. So what was I saying? Yes, so hopefully I will have a last staff member in place, and that will allow me to go to New York with my fabulous friends, and have a good time and not have to do too much. I'll always have to do some. It just is the nature of owning your own company. You're never really off. But it will give me a chance to not do a lot of the nitty gritty, because when I am down staff, I will pick up as much as humanly possible myself before I try and overload or load up my other staff members. And sometimes it's not possible. Sometimes we all have to carry an extra load, and my staff are fabulous and I love them. But I'll try and do as much as I can to not put too much pressure on them. But that just means that I generally am doing the work of 4 or 5 people. But we do what we have to do. All right, so that is now my skincare all done. You can see I am very shiny. I'm very hydrated. I'm a little sticky, which is good because we want to put makeup over it. So let's stick it down. I'm going to put my prep and prime on my lips just to prep them for later. So that'll just sit on there while we do this. And let's move on to the next step. So the next thing we need is the primer. So I'm going to use the Dior primer because I'm going to use the Dior foundation. So I will put this on to make it nice and easy. I sometimes find if you don't have the right primer with the right foundation that you get pilling. So Dior is a water-based, and this is a water-based primer. I love House Labs foundation as well. It is silicone-based. You must use a silicone-based primer with it. I have tried to use my House Labs foundation with my Dior primer before, and my House Labs foundation just pilled and it was awful. So hot tip, if you want to make sure your makeup sits nicely, your foundation sits nicely, use the right primer with the right foundation. And you can do a quick Google search. It'll tell you what ingredient will be listed first in a silicone-based primer or foundation, so you know to marry them up. And there's lots of TikToks also where it's like, here's a whole heap of foundations and here's a whole heap of primers that are all silicone-based, and if you save them, then you can follow those, which is what I do. So that's my primer on. I love the Dior primer. It's light, it's hydrating, it's great. And now I'm going to lay down a base before I actually put my foundation on to give me a little bit of color. Because I'm going to be filming all day. I've got like 6 or 7 videos to film. I want a bit of color in the background because the studio lights are very white. You can tell these are studio lights that I've got at the moment. They're very white. And if you don't have any color, you look very washed out. So I'm going to use today the by Terry brightening serum, and this is in the color Sunny Flush, and it looks very dark. I know it's very scary, but it will blend out. And I have some other options as well. You can use tanning drops and that kind of stuff. I like these because I feel like it gives me a really quite a sun-kissed look. And I know a lot of people use the Charlotte Tilbury Hollywood Flawless Finish or whatever it is. I'm not a massive fan. I bought it and gave it away because I didn't like it. So yes, this is scary, I know, but we're just gonna blend it all in, rub it all in. And you want to make it even, but don't, because I'm going to put the foundation over the top, I'm not scared. Like, it's going to blend out with a beauty blender, so I'm really not that scared if it's not perfect the first time. It can be a little bit patchy. Make sure you get underneath the chin because otherwise you get lines. But yeah. So other than my staffing issues that I've had at work, so I've been working crazy hours because of that, I've had several small operations, which I am fine. For anyone who's worried, I am fine. We're just trying to figure out a way to fix me without needing to have a massive operation. I'm all right with having the massive operation, but my doctor is trying to avoid it because of other issues that will come up once I do that. But yeah, it's been a rough start to the year. I am actually in the process of selling and buying a house for my father. So see, it's not so bad. It just gives me a little bit of color, which is nice. And I like to always have in drawers over here, I've got a massive cotton pad from Sephora, and I've got my Sephora triple action cleansing water, and I literally just push down, goes everywhere, that's fine. And then I keep this here the whole time. So this is now my cleanup wipe. So yeah, so my father, I've talked about it before, we live quite rurally. My father lives even further out than I do. He lives an hour and a half beyond me. He lives on his own, and he is, hang on, let me find my right foundation. Which one is it? I have it in several colors because I sometimes get a tan. Well, there we go. All right, so my Dior foundation for my everyday is a 2WP, and then I have 3 other colors depending on if I've got a tan or not. So I've got that, and then I've got a beauty blender that I have wet. This has been pre-wet. This is just a Paw beauty blender from Amazon. I quite like these. They're, because I throw mine out, I don't keep them. So like I don't wash them and reuse them over and over and over again. I get this thing about icky. They get icky, so I'll throw them out after maybe 2 or 3 applications and then gone. And these are latex free and they're better for the environment. So yes, we'll do my foundation next. So yeah, my father, he's 73, he'll be 74 this year, and he lives on his own, and he's an hour and a half from me. Where he lives, there is a hospital, but it's not particularly a big hospital. There's not a lot of specialists there. You've got to go to major cities if you want those things, and I am his only child. So we are in the process. We own the house where he lives. I bought him that house. How old is my daughter? She is 5. So we bought him that house about 6 years ago. 5 or 6 years ago, and he moved in there because that's where he wanted to be. We were moving back from the ACT, Canberra in Australia, and I didn't want him to stay down there, which was where he was, because it was too far. It was really too far, and so the compromise that he would go to where he is, which is still very rural, and where we are is rural. It's hard to explain. There's different levels of rural before you actually get to like metro and city-based living, and you know, there's bigger towns. So anyway, where he landed, he was really happy with that, and I was fine. But as he's gotten older, I can see that, you know, your parents need help as they get older. It just is. Those of you who have children who will understand, and and parents who are aging will understand that, you know, you kind of feel like you raised your children and you're going through all of that, and then suddenly you're going to switch into handling. So instead of going to sporting appointments and birthday parties and all the things that you've got to organise for your kids, specialists and whatever, you will then just switch all of that to your parents, where it will be doctor's visits and, you know, things to make sure that their well-being is taken care of. You know, my dad just got hearing aids because he couldn't hear, but he didn't know that because he lived on his own. So he'd come and see me. I'm like, Dad, you are deaf as a doornail. You need to go see a hearing specialist. Like, oh, okay. And then he went and did that. So my dad's really good at, like, if I ask him to do something for his own good, he'll do it. I don't get pushback or arguments because I know that sometimes when they get elderly, that becomes an issue. I watched it with my grandparents. But he's really good at, like, doing that if I ask him to, and seeing the reason. It's just, he's too far away. He just is. So we put his house on the market and we sold. He had the truck come yesterday, pick up all his stuff, and that'll go into storage for the next month. He's moving in with us, so I'm expecting him at some point today. So somewhere through my videos, you might see me, like, there might be a cut in the video and then I'm back, which will be really obvious, and that's because he's arrived. And we've just bought him a house which is 3 minutes from me, which I am so happy about. Like, dead set, there is a set of lights between me and my dad now. So if he rings and he needs me, then I can be there instantly. 3 minutes. I know all the major hospitals around here. I know the best healthcare. This is my area. I've got friends who have cleaning businesses. I can send them in to clean his house so that they're keeping an eye on him as well, without him feeling like he's being watched all the time. So yeah, So this is my foundation. You can see it's not a full coverage. It's not a full coverage foundation by any stretch of the imagination, but we're about to build up a whole heap of other products. So I don't want a full coverage, because if I lay down a full coverage and then put bronzer and cream blush and then go over that with powders, it gets very full on. So I have just gone with a very, very light coverage. You can see it's cleared up a lot of the texture. This eczema is always going to be a problem until it clears up on its own, but that's not clearing up until the stress is gone, and yeah, there's always stress. So yes. All right, next thing we're going to do is the bronzer. So I've got lots of different cream bronzers. I like the LYS, but my favorite at the moment is the Rare Beauty. So this is Rare Beauty in the color Power Boost. It's quite light because I am quite fair. And then I apply it with a brush. This is the Anastasia Beverly Hills brush in A30. I like it because it's very dense. It's basically a stippling brush. And then, so like you can see, there's so much product in these. I've been using this for ages. I've tried a few different colors, but Power Boost is one that works best for me for the most part. So let's put this on. So I put it on the brush. I do not put it directly on my skin. Hot tip. If you have things in stick form, that's fantastic. That's great. If you are older and you have any wrinkles whatsoever, I strongly recommend you use a brush or put it on the back of your hand and then use your fingers, because it will find every fine line you have and sit in them. That's my hot tip for that. So we're just going to go in up here. So I'm not a contour girly. I'm not big on contour. I can if it calls for it. So like if I've got a big event and I want to do a full glam, then I might do a little bit of contouring around my nose and underneath my chin line, and I can like hollow this bit out, but I'm not much of a contour girly. So yes, it's all sitting in my hair, but I'll clean that up at the end. So nobody panic about that. So I'm going in on the top of the forehead because this is where you naturally get sun. And then I'm going to do, so I love bronzer. So I put my bronzer just on my cheekbone, on the lower side of my cheekbone. So I want it to go there. And this is my face at the moment. When I put this on, it will lift. So I'm going to use the mirror over here to make sure it's perfect. Otherwise you're going to go, well, that didn't work. So we're just going to go straight down this line, which is just on the lower side of my cheekbone. And then we'll blend that out. You're going to go up into your hairline. Don't just stop just before your hairline, or else it's going to look funny. And so can you see that when I do that, this pulls this side of the face up, whereas this side of the face is still very full. So I've got to blend it out, obviously. But this is how I do my bronzer so that it pulls my face up. I could contour this whole section here with a really cool tone contour and give myself like a sucked in look, but I find a few things as I get older. First off, your face naturally starts to hollow out. So I'm not sure I really want to accentuate any more hollowing in my face. So I try and avoid it for that reason. I don't feel like I need a lot of angles. So I feel like as you get older, you get a whole heap of angles because your face starts to hollow out. There is also something to be said for, so as somebody who has had gastric sleeve surgery and has lost a lot of weight, I find that when I watch other people go through weight loss, sometimes they can get really gaunt looking and very old looking very quickly because they lose a lot of the weight in their face, and that's plumping them up. And when you take that away, they get this real saggy, gaunt look to them. I'm watching a friend go through it at the moment, and I try to avoid that as much as possible. So I'm lucky enough to have this plumpish face that I feel kind of makes me look a little bit younger. I feel like if I get really gaunt and try and suck everything in, it just makes me look really old. And if you look at like little children, the plumpness of their face is what makes them look cute and chubby and young. And as you get older, if you go really gaunt, I feel like it just ages you. So I try not to do too much contour because I don't want to look angular. I actually want to look a little bit plump because it gives it works against that aging process. So this is my face after bronzer. So I've now done my bronzer up here Yes, it's in my hairline. I'll clean that up later. And just down my cheekbones. So that's my bronzer done. Concealer. This is concealer. This is Rare Beauty's concealer. What color are you? Light medium. So this is light medium Rare Beauty. Now, what I have learnt with concealer is that as you age and you get all these little lines, you cannot use as much concealer as you used to, or that you see used by youth on TikTok, because it's just going to find every fine line. I think all you need is a little bit of concealer in here just to get rid of these dark bits as you get older, and it just lightens your eyes. So concealer brush on the back of my hand. I do not put the concealer straight onto my face because I find that's a really bad idea. And then I'm just going to put it in here, just in here to brighten my eyes. I do not need to go any further than that. So I have literally just stopped here, and it's just in the corner of my eye. That way it will not settle in any of my fine lines, but it has brightened my eye already. So you can see this one's got the darkness underneath. This one now has the lightness. So that's what I'm going for. That's all you need concealer for as you get older. You do not need concealer everywhere, all the way up here, all the way up there. Doesn't work. So that's my concealer done. I'm not going to do up here or down here or anywhere else that you see TikTokers, for those of you who watch makeup TikTok, do theirs. So I'm once again using my little wipe to clean up. All right, let's do cream blush next. Okay, so for cream blush today, I'm going to use the Dior Forever Glow Maximizer in the color Rosy. I've only just gotten these. I'm finding that they're not overly pigmented, but the Rosy works. So you screw it off and then it comes with a blotter. Again, I do not put this direct on my skin. I want to have control over the pigmentation and where it goes. So, for anyone who is interested, I use the Hourglass concealer brush for the concealer, and I'm now going to go in with a Smashbox brush. It doesn't have a number on it, but it looks like this, and this is one of my favorite styles of cream blush brush. So I'm just going to put a little bit on my brush like so, and then I'm just going to lay it down on top of this bronzer. So, like just on the top side of my cheekbone. So these are very luminescent products. So I'm just hugging my eye, you can see that. And then I'm just going to blend it out. So let's put some over here as well. So yes, my father moves in with me today, and then in 4 weeks his house will be ready. So the next 4 weeks, I don't mind my dad living with me. He's lived with us before when my son was very tiny, for about a year, and it was good. It was great that I had him when my little one was so little. It was stuff like at the end of the night when I would put my son to bed, my dad would go around and clean up all the toys. It was awesome. I'd come back from putting my son down and all the toys would be put away. It was great. And my dad would sit and read to him and play with him and just spend that time that parents don't often get, because you're working on getting dinner ready and just life in general, and grandparents can just kind of sit and be what the children need them to be in that moment. So that was really great. And my son and my father have like this amazing bonded relationship because of that. It's hard though, I find. I mean, I understand there are lots of cultures where multi-generational homes work, and I think it's fantastic for children especially to be in a multi-generational home. But it is hard because it's little things. Like if my husband and I, are having, we don't argue, but if you're having a heated conversation, it's very hard to do that in front of someone else. I don't like to do that, and I don't want my dad to feel uncomfortable. So it can be really hard to have somebody else live with you full time. But for 4 weeks, we'll all be fine. All right, so that's my blush. So my cream products are now all set down. So I'm now going to set them with powder. And then we move on to the powder portion of the video. So for powder, I have several powders I really love. House Labs is actually my favorite, and I've just ordered more and it's on its way. So this is just the Bio Blurring Loose Setting Powder, and I find the blurring part of this they're spot on with. So I open it up a little bit and then I shake it around to get some out. And then you can see this is what it looks like. And I take a big brush. This is just an Iconic London brush. I don't mind Iconic London brushes. And then you're gonna have powder everywhere, but that's okay. And then we're just gonna get it onto the face. And I find you instantly see how this blurs. And I love it. So I feel like a lot of my pores disappear. And we have cream products that are now set down with the powder. So that's good. You can bake under your eyes, put more under your eyes if you want. I never do. I find once again, if I do that, everything just finds a line and sits there. So yeah, I find this is fine. Like my under eyes look fine as they are. I really don't want to put too much under there because it's just going to find every crease and every line and accentuate that. All right, so that's that. Let's move on to my eyebrows. So my favorite eyebrow product is Rare Beauty's. This is just the Shape and Fill Duo in taupe, and this is my go-to. I don't think she's going to continue to make it. I don't think Rare Beauty will continue to make this. I have like 4 of these stockpiled because I just feel like she's got other products now, but I love it. So there's just a little brush in here. You just pull it out. It's well loved, and yes, I have brushes that do the same thing, but I use this one because that's what its intended purpose is, and it actually works really well, and I love how little it is. So of the two, I use this one. I can use them both, to be fair, but this is the one I'm currently using. And just get some product on my brush, and then I'm gonna work over here so I can see what I'm doing. I find the end of my eyebrow and I draw up, and I just fill them in. I just flick the brush back and forth. Now, my eyebrows are tattooed. I've had my eyebrows tattooed because without it, I have no eyebrows because I'm so fair. So I just follow the line that's already there, obviously. And I really love having my eyebrows tattooed. I love having eyebrows first thing in the morning when I wake up. And, oh, drop that. So that's one done. One not done. So I've literally just darkened them up, given them a bit more of a point, and just accentuated them, basically. Just filling it in. That's all you want to do, fill it in. I don't use brow gel. I don't feel the need to like stick my eyebrows down. I've never liked lamination. It's not my thing. I don't want all my eyebrows to look scared and stand up, all my hair to stand up on end. It's not for me. If it looks great on you and you love it, then I support you in that. Each person needs to make choices about how they want things on their face to look. All right, so that's my eyebrows done. All right, let's do some eyeshadow. Hey, so let me pick a palette and I will come back to you. So I've chosen my Makeup by Mario Ethereal Eyes eyeshadow palette. This was a limited edition that they released for Christmas 2022. And then it was so popular they brought it back. It's still limited edition. It's currently available at Sephora in Australia and on their online store. I have this one. I have another one that sits in my makeup kit, my travel kit, and I would not lie. I'm not lying if I said I would probably get a third one of these just to stash away, because this is the perfect palette for me. So this is my go-to. I have so many eyeshadow palettes. This is my go-to when I need it quick, I need it easy, and I need it to work. So some of these colors might throw a little bit warm, but for the most part, I can make them all work for me. And I just find this is my best neutral palette. So this is what I'm going to use today because I know it's quick and it's easy. So the first thing I'm going to do is take a Sephora brush. This is in the number 26, and I'm just going to pick a color and basically window wash my lid. So the first color I'm going to go in with is this one. So it's like a neutrally color. it's E22, I want to say, or EE2. So let's just put a little bit on the brush like that. Get rid of the excess because we don't want it everywhere. And then I'm just going to bring the mirror closer to me so I can see. Sorry, let's just do that so you guys don't have the mirror in your shot. So I am getting old. My eyes are hooded. This is a fact. So when I open them all the way like that, you lose all the eyelid. It is very important that you go where the socket is with your eye. So let me explain this. So the socket of your eye is actually here. That's where your bone is. So that is where you are going to crease cut with your eyeshadow. Now, when you're younger, your crease cut is actually here, where it creases. As you get older, you need to go for where the socket is. So that's where you're going to put your eyeshadow. So, and that will ensure that you will actually see it when you do your eyeshadow. So we're just gonna swipe back and forth. Need a little bit more because I probably got a little concerned about having too much on my brush. And we're just gonna go back and forth until you get enough color that you're happy. So we just start out very lightly. So never start with your darkest color, always start with like a mid color, I want to say, and just make sure that you're really getting into that socket, not into where the crease is. So that's how we're going. So you can, when my eye is all the way open, you can still see my eyeshadow. It hasn't all disappeared and gone away. So let's do the other side. Now, please remember I am not a professional. I just do what I know based on watching a lot of other people do it and then adapting it for me, my age, my skin. Because there is a lot of makeup content out there from very young people and that's fantastic, but I am no longer that person. My face does not sit like theirs does. My skin does not do what their skin does. So that's the first swipe. That's my first color that I'm laying down. I am now going to take this brush. This is a Morphe brush, L103 brush. It's a little bit angled, you can see, and I'm going to pick my darkest color that I'm going to do. So for today, I'm going to do this color. This is going to be the darkest color. I love this color. It's a great one for me because it's neutral enough that because when I do 7 videos in a day, I'll change my shirt out. So it makes it look for you guys like I am filming on different days. Like, you're not stupid, I know you know, but nevertheless I do it. But if I want to change out different shirts, then I need makeup that's going to go with several different colored shirts. So we're going to take this and we're just going to do the outer third of my eyelid. So I like to start here. I've got it angled and then you go up. And I'm just doing the outer third. And always take that angle and swipe up. If you go up, you are pulling your face up, which is good. If you swipe down, you're pulling your face down and you don't want that as you get older. So I'm just going to go in the outer third like that. Keeping it a little bit darker, but still quite neutral. And we're gonna push up, blend out. And this is what we get. We'll do the other side. I really hope you guys aren't bored watching this happen. And up. Now, if you want to, at this point, what you can do is take a smaller brush. And if I was going to do it, I'd take this Fenty brush. It's called a precision brush, and take that same eyeshadow and do your eyeliner underneath. I still like an actual eyeliner, so I don't do that. And I know that that's the fastest way to blend all your makeup together, is just to have your eyeshadow as your eyeliner. I still like an eyeliner, so I'm not going to do that. But if you wanted to, that's what you would do. So I'm going to keep this because I am going to line my top lid with a very dark eyeshadow at the end. All right, so that's now my first 2 colors. The next one I'm going to do is my lightest color. So I'm going to take this brush. This is just from Kmart. Kmart make great brushes. Don't be fooled into thinking they don't make great brushes. I have lots of their brushes. This is the 4D brush set, and I love it. I've got several sets. So we're going to go with my lightest color now, which is just this one here. And we're just going to put it just in the inner corners because you want to keep that nice and light in there. Just like that. All right, and then you want a fluffy brush. So taking my Sephora one again, and just make sure everything is blended out, okay? We don't want any lines that are too liney. Obvious. There's a good word, Meredith, obvious. So we're just going to blend it all out. We're not done yet. All right, I'm going to take this precision brush. I'm going to take the darkest color there is, which is the brown down here. I'm just going to get a little bit of brown, and I'm going to line, tight line the top lid basically right in the lash line. Now, I have my lash line tattooed. I've had that done because I really love how tight lining works. It just drives me nuts doing it all the time. So I actually had that done permanently, which I also love. If you are a fan of having, you know, eyebrows that you can see in the morning, if you're really fair, let's go with this. If you're really fair and you miss waking up in the morning and feeling like you have eyebrows and a face, then tattooing is fantastic for that. But find a good tattooist. Please find a good tattooist. Do your research. Pay the money for it. That's something you should really splurge on. All right, so I'm just going to go across the top just to give it a little bit of definition. Keeping it tight to the lash line. So you can do this with an eyeliner as well, but I just find that eyeshadow blends out a little bit better and is easier to work with. If you're scared of eyeliner for the lines and the fact that it can be quite harsh, then use your eyeshadows. And if you want, you can just give yourself a bit of a wing. This is your opportunity. And once again, eyeshadow is easier to do a wing with than eyeliner. Eyeliner will give you a more defined look, but once it's on, you're not getting it off. Whereas eyeshadow, you can always blend out. So I'm terrible at making these even on each side. I feel like they're just in different places. But so the other thing I will say, if you are older and you have hooded eyes, when you do your wings, do them with your eyes open, because if you draw them with your eyes closed, it just doesn't work. You lose half of it to your eye when you close it. So always do it with your eye open. Get that wing where you want it. And worst case scenario, just do this. And it helps get the wing where it should be, because you just want to skim that side. All right, so that's that. Last thing I'm going to do before I move on to my eyeliner is I'm just going to throw some shimmer on. So there are lots of shimmers in this, and I'm going to use this one because it's my favorite. And then we're just going to put it in the middle of the eyelid. You don't need it all over. You just literally go down the middle of the eyelid. And you get a little bit of shimmer, which gives it something a little bit extra. So that's my eyes done, my eyeshadow done. All right, let's move on to eyeliner. God only knows how long this video is going to be, Meredith. All right, let's have a look. I have so many eyeliners, it's ridiculous. So I want a brown today. So we're going to use the, could I use Give? Give's got a great green. Oh, we might use Give. And we want a black like. All right, I've chosen 2 eyeliners today. They both give eyeliners. This is Gwen Stefani's brand. It's a really great brand. I love her stuff. So this is the Line It Up 24-hour gel pencil eyeliners, and I have it in Greener Pastures and Spiderwebs. They're the ones I'm going to use today. So I'm going to go in with the Greener Pastures first and just do underneath my eyes. It's not super green, but it's just green enough. Gives a hint of green. So once that's on, I'm going to take a brush, which is this one. This is the Morphe times Nayan FF2 brush. Looks like this on the end. And I'm just going to smudge that out. And once again, when you get to the edge, draw up. It helps with the wing. And you want the 2 bits to meet on the side. So where I did the brown overline with the eyeshadow, I want it to meet that on the very edges of my eye. All right, and then I'm going to take the Spiderwebs, which is this one. And I'm just going to do the waterline, the inner eye. Now, lots of people will say you should do this with a white one because it lightens your eyes. Yes, but I want dramatic effect. So I do them in black. And that's what that looks like. So I'm going to curl my lashes off camera because I'm terrible at it and nobody needs to watch me do that. And then we're going to do the mascara. We've still got bronzer to do and blush to do. There's still things to do. So let me do my eyelashes. Okay, my eyelashes are now curled. I'm going to use the One Size Fantasize mascara. Thank you to Lisa from Luxury Life in the Middle who talked about this one. I've got lots of mascaras that I really love. Can I just say the Hermes mascara is amazing, but I'm going to use this one today. So it just looks like this, and I'm going to go in there and do my eyelashes. Now, if you want to get your eyelashes as good as they can be, make sure you get all the way down to the root of your eyelash and drag up. And you're going to want a few coats. One eye done, one eye not done. I can hear my dogs making their way into the bedroom because I'm home alone at the moment and I haven't fed them breakfast yet. And they're like, excuse me, hello? Have you remembered that you need to feed us? We will starve to death if you don't feed us. They won't. They're hugely overweight. They're old, they're deaf. One of them is blind and they are overweight. I love my dogs. I love them so much. But yes, they are spoiled. So that's with my mascara on. So let's do a second coat. This is a great mascara, Lisa. I completely agree. If you want a really high-end one, I've got to say the Hermes is great. Give make a fantastic mascara. Huda Beauty make a good mascara. Tarte make a great tubing mascara if you don't want to have to deal with the raccoon eyes later. So many mascaras. That's 2 coats. Now, I don't do my bottom lashes. I know lots of people do. For me, it just becomes messy and it doesn't work for me. But if it works for you, you go nuts. All right, so that's 3 coats of mascara and my eyeshadow is done. And it's pretty neutral today, so happy with that. All right, bronzer. Oh, let's go. So, powder bronzer. House Labs is one of my favorites. This is the Powder Sculpt Velvet Bronzer in level 2. I have level 1 and 3 coming in the mail. And then I'm going to use my Hourglass brush 2 to do this. So I just run around, and then I'm just going to do the same areas I did with my cream bronzer. I'm just giving myself some more colour. And down here, same areas, and we're just warming that up. So that's the bronzer done. Right, and now we're going to do our powder blush. My favorite House Labs brush, the blush which they don't do the color in anymore. This is in the color Lavender Blonde. This is one of my favorite colors. I'm devastated that this didn't come back with the reformulation that House Labs have just done. I have just bought a Dior one, which I am hoping is very similar, but this is what it looks like. It's a real purpley pink. I love it. And we need a brush. So this is the Basics by B brush, and I'm just gonna put a little bit of color on there. I love it. It's such a great color. It's not too pink, it's not too purple. For me, it works perfectly. Go up into your hairline. Keep it high, keep it above your cheekbone. And this is what we look like with blush. And then highlighter. So let's grab the highlighter. Well, this is actually a hybrid highlighter slash blush from Rare Beauty. I'm just looking for the right color because I have them all. Hello, Ginger Nut. Hello, baby girl. Oh, it's funny. I'm talking to her. She can't hear me. She's deaf, but she knows I'm excited to see her. Nope, don't want that color either. Sorry guys, just looking for the color I actually want. There's 6 colors, so, and all their containers are exactly the same. That's the one I want. It's always the last one, always. All right, so this is the new Rare Beauty powder blush, and it's like a highlighter as well. This is in the color Truth, and it goes great with this blush that I've got on. Looks quite dark, it's not too bad. And then I'm just gonna put that there. Put that there. Oh, this is the Rare Beauty highlighter brush. I know this isn't technically speaking a highlighter. That's gone very, very dark. So let's just blend that out a little bit. Now, this looks super dark, but to be fair, when you're on camera, with a lot of lights, you need a little bit of pigmentation, I'm finding. Well, I feel like I do. So this is basically my makeup for the day. So I haven't done my lips yet, obviously. So now I take my well-used little pad and I'm just gonna clean up my hairline a little bit. Get all the makeup out of my hair. And I'm just gonna clean my lips. Dogs have arrived. They're circling the wagons. They're about to overthrow me if I don't feed them. So this is what my makeup looks like now. Let's take that out. And I will go and feed the dogs, do my hair, and then I'll come back to finish off with my lips and we'll be done. So this is me, guys. I have now blow dried my hair. I have not ironed it at all. This is literally just blow dried. And my makeup is still all there. I'm about to fix it, set it down. So this is the Dior Forever Perfect Fix Spray. I like this one because it's hydrating. So we'll set down my makeup, and then we also need to do my lips. So Anastasia of Beverly Hills for a lip liner, my absolute favorite. Let me sit down so better shot for you guys. So this is my favorite lip line. Well, it's not my, this is my favorite brand of lip liner. How about that? So Raisin is the color I'm going to use. It is, we'll just pretend pretend that didn't happen. So Raisin is one of my favorite colors, but the Anastasia Beverly Hills lip liners are absolutely one of my favorites. So let's line my lips. So now we have some color on my lips, which is handy. I'm going to wear today the Chanel. This is Rouge Cocoa Balm. So it's more of a balm. And this is in the color Pink Delight, 928. Looks like this. And it will blend in nicely with the lip liner. So that gives me a really nice neutral look, but because I'm me, I'm gonna pink it up a little bit. So this is the Maracuja Juicy Shift Tarte, and this is in the color Big Ego. It's very pink, and it's a real gloss. So let's just lay that over the top. Smells like coconut. I love these. And that gives me a bit more of a pink sheen and a lot more gloss. So does anyone else do that just to get it off the back of their lips so it doesn't all end up on their teeth? So this is my look for filming for at least the next couple of videos, and then I'll change my top out. I've got a pink one ready to go that I will switch out with. And this is how I do my makeup to get ready to film. Now, obviously, when I am doing it on my own without filming it, it's a lot quicker because I'm not explaining everything or trying to talk or find something to talk about to you guys. It's a lot faster, but this is generally my makeup routine. I can do it really quite quickly on my own. So I hope that's been helpful for those of you who are interested in this and who asked for it. Yes, a couple of you asked for it. Not everybody. No, not everybody. And I'm sure this video will not do well because nobody's interested, but those of you, the couple who watched this, especially those who made it to the end, if you made it to the end, drop me in an emoji. Maybe we'll do the, what's a good emoji? Maybe we'll do the emoji if you can find it, and drop that in the comments down below so I know you made it this far. If you've liked today's video, please give it a thumbs up and hit that subscribe button down below. It means a lot to a content creator when you hit that subscribe button. Please also hit the little bell notification so you know when I upload videos, which is usually twice a week. I'll also throw up my Instagram handle for you so you can come follow me over there. I put lots up in real time, lots around my collection and my day-to-day life, so please come follow me over there. I hope wherever you are in the world today, you are having a fabulous day, and I'll see you guys in the next video when I film. Bye guys.